I picked 5 ticks off my dog
Uh,
today.
Nature is so risky.
Yeah, I know. Just stay in New York City where it's safe and
Yeah.
so I was wondering if you could talk about Wild and Out.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely pivotal for me. I auditioned, actually started like a year ago. I auditioned for Wild and Out in April. I sent them a roast battle video that I did. And in like 2017, I did like a million roast battles. So I had like all these roasts under my belt, which at the time I thought were useless. And then I auditioned and I got the audition because of the roast battles. And then, yeah, pretty much I auditioned. I shined, I guess they would say. And then I got on the cast. It's such a boring story. Um,
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've done one roast, and I was always afraid too because I thought I wouldn't be able to take it, and it would, break my soul. And then I got asked to do one, I'm sure, because you dropped out or something, and it was actually so fun.
yeah,
And some other comics said, "Oh, it's a waste of effort because you have to write all these jokes that you
right,
can only use
right.
once, but not if it's a stepping stone to a job like that or writing for comedy
Yeah,
shows, which I saw you also did."
yeah, definitely. I feel like, man, for me, it was like I had to do like 50 of them to make it worth it. I feel like that's the only, I
Why do
feel
you say that?
because like that was how I became like known as a roaster. It takes like a bunch of them and like a variety of jokes and beating a lot of people for someone to be like, oh, she can be on Wild and Out or she could be a
Right.
writer for a roast. I got in at a time when like the roast masters at the stand was super hot and they had those YouTube videos that were like going out to a bunch of people. So I think it can be worth it if you go really hard.
Was there ever a roast burn that hurt your feelings?
Um, well, when I first started doing like Fight Club, I was like, I think I was like 6 months into comedy, and I got a lot of fat jokes.
Mm.
And that was like, ow. When you first start roasting, you're like everything hurts. When you hear people laugh at something they say against you, you're like, what the fuck? How are you all laughing? But then you get numb after like a few roasts. I feel like the biggest things in the beginning were people making fun of my comedy. It's less like appearance stuff for me and more like when people are like, no one laughs at Maddie's jokes, but it doesn't matter because she laughs at her own. Like stuff like that, like about my style that were like, ow, that hurts more than anything about my appearance.
That's like friendly fire, right? Because it's
Right.
yeah, so specific to
So
to what you care about.
so fucking rude. Feel comfortable in a roasty environment. I feel comfortable where people can dish it out and take it. Um, I don't know if my parents' divorce had to say it. I think my parents' divorce helped with resilience in just everyday life. I feel like it makes you really open-minded as a comedian too, because we do so many bad shows that you're not affected. All you want to do is get up, and I don't know, like there's no more letdowns after that, you
Yeah.
know?
After you realize the parent trap is not coming true.
Yes, you're just like fine with everything.
Yeah,
More people should have their parents go through a divorce, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. You have such a like confidence on stage, and I don't know if you manifest it or if it just comes naturally, but it really seems like that's your comfort zone.
I don't know. I really think like from my first mic, I was just like, yeah. And the crazy thing is, I'm not even that confident. You know what I mean? But I think it's like a nervous thing that I have to like take the whole crowd into my hands and like yell more
Yeah.
and give off more energy. It like something about being on stage with lights and a mic in my hand makes me amp it up a little bit more. Even though, I mean, I've gotten better at this, but even though in my head I'm like, it could change at any minute. You know, when you're like, you start
Yeah.
off well and you're like, keep holding them.
Right. You're like fighting for keep loving me, don't
Yeah,
lose me.
totally.
Do you have jokes that you'll use in like Midtown versus downtown versus Brooklyn? Because I know I've done sets that in at the Lantern they love it, and
Yeah.
then in Brooklyn they hate it.
Totally. I don't really change this. I think I changed my attitude a little more. I feel like in at clubs I'm more like set up punch, a little bit of hacky crowd work to get them on my side, but I won't do like that kind of crowd work. And Brooklyn, I can do more specific stuff, because they're a little smarter, um, and they understand, like, I'm a 28-year-old woman who's like moving around in a certain way, and they get it more. I have more fun in Brooklyn shows. I can like meander a little more and have like an internal dialogue come outward because they're like on my page immediately. Whereas in the clubs, they're a little bit more conservative, might be more tourists, and they might be like, "Uh-oh, a woman," and I have to be like there right away.
Exactly. I feel like my like nervous device is to like say something dirty on stage. Like I like talk about sex and like say stuff which is like not really who I am at all. But
Yeah,
but then at club shows with tourists, sometimes they're like, I don't want a girl to be talking about that kind of stuff.
I have a lot of sex jokes too, but am I sex oriented as a person? No, they just like
Yeah.
came easy and
And it's easy to get that uncomfortable laugh. It's kind of cheating.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
I had a writing teacher at NYU who gave us the homework once of can you write a minute of jokes? It wasn't specifically stand up, but can you write a minute of comedy that doesn't have any curse words, sex references, drug references, or classroom humor? And it was such a good exercise.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. I feel like the best writing of mine comes after I do a set and you have like all the brain juices flowing and you're like, oh, I could do this and this and this, but it's really stagnant when you're not getting up.
Do you find it easier to date someone in the industry?
Yeah, I think so. I think they just get it. They know the schedule. When I have to leave for Wild and Out, which is like weeks at a time, he's like supportive and you can
Weeks
like
at a time. What do you mean?
well, we film each season just like all at once.
Oh.
So in December, I filmed season 15 and I was gone for like 2.5 weeks. And then last May, I filmed season 14 and I was gone for like 3.5 weeks. So
They
they're all
shoot
filmed at once.
in LA.
Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous there?
I was so fucking, and even now, after being quarantined for as long as I have, I'm like, I can't imagine going back. I'm like so nervous. I'm like, can I even do that? When you're isolated for 3 months, it's like, I was really nervous to go back for my second season because I did so well that first season that when I went back, I was like, can I do it? There was that like pressure of like, uh-oh. Like when a rock band does a great album, they're like, can we do it again though?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. But
I
once you
mean,
get back, and every episode, so nervous. The cameras are on, and there's that pressure of like, it's not just a live show. It's like you have to get edited into the episode too. And like, otherwise, why would you be down here? Because there's a lot of edits, and it's really stressful. It's a lot of perfectionist mindset goes into filming a TV show.
how much do you get to prepare the jokes?
So you find out like what games you're playing in each episode. There's like different games and stuff. But we film like 3 episodes a day, so it's really off, flying by the seat of our pants, if that's a saying.
Yeah.
So you film up one episode and turn around and do the next, and turn around and do the next.
Oh
So
my God.
you know like the structure ahead of time, but realistically you don't have that much time to prepare because you go to sleep and you go to the studio and then you're back in makeup.
But so they don't say, Maddie, you're going to be paired with Nick Cannon.
They have some of that. It depends on the game and how much the directors need to like block it out ahead of time.
I wonder how much of it is off the seat of their pants, if that's a saying.